if you look at a bill, on every bill, at the bottom of every piece of legislation, there is this emergency clause. And it says, declaring an emergency, this bill shall be in effect on July 1st of whatever year that we're in. And this started to happen during the COVID pandemic because there was an emergency, apparently, right? I mean, they were trying to make sure that the bills that they were passing get put into effect when they are intended to be put into effect. But there's a lot of people out there that read bills, and then you'll see it bubble up. And I've seen it over the years. Why are they declaring emergency? There's no emergency. There's no emergency. This is some sort of like nefarious, deep state type way to have control over us. And this was different than the governor declaring an emergency and then redeclaring an emergency over and over and over again for months and months and months during the pandemic. This is written specifically on the bill. So this was raised by Representative Stinson, I believe, who is sitting in for Representative Nash, a Democrat out of Boise. And anyway, so this was his first exposure to this emergency language. So we wanted to play the clip because I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that have heard this language or have seen it on bills and don't know exactly why this is on there. So let's roll this clip.
10, it's the back page. Section 2, it's line 3. An emergency existing, therefore, which emergency is hereby declared to exist. This act is in full force after July 1st. Could you help define and describe what emergency we're facing?
So, Representative, I know you're new to the job. Post the pandemic, this is standard language that goes into all bills.
Okay, am I allowed to question that?
Yeah, you're allowed to question it, but that's the short answer. So if she wants to give you a more indefinite answer, go ahead, Representative.
Okay.
Go ahead, Representative Young.
Certainly. Mr. Chairman, Representative Stinson, if you watch the bills that come through this committee, you'll see that they all have the same language.
Just asking.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, good question. The one change, Representative Stinson, is all laws go into effect on July 1. A true emergency clause, it goes into effect upon its passage or signature by the governor. But we had some issues with the pandemic and an extended session where we did not go at recess. We didn't adjourn. And so it caused some problems. So we have started putting this language in every single bill. So if that ever happens again, it still goes into effect July 1st. So good question.
Thanks.
All right, there you have it. So an emergency existing, therefore, which emergency is hereby declared to exist. This act shall be in full force and effect on and after July 1 of whatever year they're in. So hopefully that clears it up for folks out there who have been questioning this for some time or have just come across it because you started reading some of these bills and noticed that this emergency language is in there. So we thank Representative Crane for addressing that issue.